Good morning, FGC. What's good, man? Red K. Kind of took a week off. It was Biketoberfest where I was at. I had to work and everything like that. But got two pretty decent stories that I want to dive into. The first one being that according to sources, not sources that want to have themselves revealed, but according to sources, Microsoft says that Ultra Tech lives. Basically, that this game right here, yeah, Killer Instinct. Word is that Microsoft is still working on it. Haven't forgot it. And remember, Max had the big Save KI hashtag that went crazy. And Microsoft actually responded to the hashtag saying, we haven't forgotten about KI, just that we don't have any game developers that do fighting games. I mean, they got Bethesda, but they don't do fighting games. I mean, Iron Galaxy is no longer there. They're doing something else, you know, and the first developers for KI got bought up by Amazon. And we see how well that's going with the Amazon gaming division. So Killer Instinct community continues to be one of the most vocal in FGC. Of course, back in the day when KI first came out, it had the best, still has really good netcode and playing online and stuff. Of course, I would say that Guilty Gear Strive has a better, but Guilty Gear Strive just came out as a year old, and KI is like 9 years old, so you would expect the game to have better online netcode. But there's a new rumor that's being reported that a brand new Killer Instinct title is currently in active development at Microsoft. That doesn't mean that it's going to be released next week or next year. It just means it's in development, which is also good, especially when we think about the fact that we got Guilty Gear Strive that's going on right now. We got Riot's game that we're expecting to come out. A bunch of other fighting games as well. Melty Blood's out right now, so hopefully maybe by 2023 we can have a game out. You know what I mean? Developer comes via Sapala_Nick on the Xbox Era podcast, who claims to have inside information in the project's existence. So hopefully it doesn't get canceled. He says, what I've been told is yes, Killer Instinct is in active development, said Nick on the most recent podcast. It's not just coming back, it's an active development, and at the moment, it's being worked on. So that's pretty big news if it's true. He states the first heard rumors of KI not being dead last year, but it didn't want to say anything at the time because he needed to be more direct information confirming instead of putting his name to something in the public space. As for who is developing the alleged fighting game, Nick doesn't know. Like I said before, Iron Galaxy is working on something else after being acquired by... Iron Galaxy is known for like revamping old video games, old fighting games for that matter. He said Iron Galaxy is doing its own thing. They took over development from Double Helix, who was actually, like I said before, sold to Amazon and now are doing nothing, basically. For anyone asking me, I don't know who the studio is. This is Nick saying, I haven't been told. I'm legitimately trying to find out the studio because I'm pretty sure it's not Iron Galaxy. If you remember, we're saying that Phil Spencer actually commented on the fact that, you know, they liked KI, even though KI was like the game, was a surprise game of the Xbox One's lifespan. It brung a lot of things like, you know, the free-to-play games, DLC, which lasted, 4 or 5 years, and basically was the roadmap for what happened with Street Fighter, if you think about it. So Phil Spencer, of course, said this earlier a couple months ago, saying it's about finding the right team and the right opportunity, but it's not due to any kind of lack of desire on our part that we're not doing more with KI because we love the game and the franchise and the community response. That was Phil Spencer. But they just don't have a developer. They don't have a fighting game developer. There's not many fighting game developers out there. There's Capcom. There's Iron Galaxy, which does older games, but they don't make new games. There's Arc System Works. There's Namco. And I mean, that's kind of it, you know? Hopefully Microsoft builds their own in-house fighting game developer, and that'd be awesome, right? Fingers crossed. But we do know KI allegedly is being worked on, which is more hope than I had for the project going forward. So it's pretty dope. So DC Fandom just ended, and while we did get some good games that I was very excited for, Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. The Court of Owls trailer for Gotham Knights, which all looks awesome. What we didn't see from a fighting game perspective is anything about DC's Injustice franchise. Of course, there are rumblings and rumors about the fact that NetherRealm is working on a Marvel game right now and not Injustice 3, which is highly anticipated and should be the finale in the story that is Injustice. Matter of fact, Injustice just got a animated adaptation of the game, which I haven't watched yet, but they're pretty good review scores out now. So it is a little bit bad that unfortunately Injustice 3 was nowhere to be found within the DC Fandom stream, but NetherRealm Studios creator Ed Boon, aka Ed Troll, was still in attendance for an interview on the series he helped craft. He just said that back in 2020, Boon was sat across from the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley. Though this time they were also joined by Superman actor from the upcoming Injustice animated film, Justin Hartley. Keighley quickly asked the Mortal Kombat creator what was the initial spark for the NetherRealm creating the Injustice universe. Of course, they went into the roles of Superman, what if Superman are bad. If you played Injustice, you pretty much get the gist of it. So blah, 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 blah. They talk about, They talk about Mortal Kombat. But we really want to know is what about Injustice 3, right? So when questioned about Injustice 3, Boone stated that he wished he could talk about it, but they have nothing to announce, which is sad. Though he does appreciate the desire for the new game. So the future of NetherRealm Studio has been more up in the air after the selling of major portions of, I believe it's AT&T. Of course, they didn't sell the NetherRealm Studios part of the AT&T merger because AT&T was bought by Discovery, as in the Discovery Channel, who owns a lot of things right now. So MK11 had to close because of it, and we didn't get a DLC that was rumored in there. Injustice 3, we don't know how that's going. We do know that there is a Marvel game, fighting game, in contingency right now with NetherRealm Studios. So we don't know if that's a mix between Marvel Studios and the Mortal Kombat characters, or is that just a Marvel Studios game like Injustice? We don't know. We don't know anything, and Ed Boon is zip, not saying anything. So as far as Injustice 3, we don't know. We do know that MK11 is, as right now, is done. And yeah, they put out an Injustice movie, animated movie. So that's all they're talking about in the fandom. So it looks like how we would be getting an Injustice 3 next year. It still could happen if you think about the 2-year development cycle. If you don't factor in the COVID stuff, we could be getting a Injustice 3 next year, or just the next game from NetherRealm Studios. They go on like a 2 or 3 year cycle. But with the acquisitions and mergers, the fact Ed Boon has nothing to say, he's not even trolling right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are we going to get an Injustice 3 from NetherRealm Studios as the Marvel game in the works? So maybe they're going to do like something else, like a, I don't know, like a Shaolin Monks HD remake that they were talking about making, or maybe re-releasing MK9 for this generation of consoles. There's a lot of things that NetherRealm Studios can do, and you know, there's also, they could be sold. They could be sold to Sony or Microsoft or somebody like that. So we'll see. I thought we'd get some answers at the DC Fandom, but not the case. That's going to be doing it for me, Red K. I'm going to dive back in, see if I can get some more stories of what's going on in the fighting game community. We just had a big patch go out for Guilty Gear Strive. So, of course, me and Shadow Shell 88 will be digging into that to see what we can find out. Of course, the Melty Blood's out. We're still waiting for Rita Repulsa to come out on Power Rangers. A lot of stuff going on. Unfortunately, you know, we might play some more Injustice 2. Even though the netcode is not the greatest. But, you know, unfortunately, we didn't get any Justice news besides the animated series, the animated movie, that is. So, till next time, man, we out. Peace.